everyone, welcome. Thanks for coming. My name is Sean. I'm one of the co-founders with MakerSquare, along with a team of 16 awesome people. So we thank you all for coming. The students are super excited. For some of you, there's some regulars here, which is really exciting. This is our third career day. And for some of you that are not aware of what we do, we want to give a little update before we dive into the presentations. So MakerSquare, when we started back in January, when the idea was spun up, we wanted to teach people how to code. We wanted to take great people and teach them how to code. And so we started a 10-week immersive program in Austin, and it's been great. So we started back in January was the idea, and in June we started our first class, and we have some alumni here that have been hired by awesome companies. So it's super exciting to see them here. And so with that, we continue doing the immersive program, but there's a couple updates that we've had. Is we're still doing this immersive program, which is going really well, and that's why you all are here. But there's a couple other things that we're doing. We're also doing a part-time program. So if people don't have the dream to quit their job and learn how to code, they can still do it in the evenings. And that's for front-end developers. And then we're also doing something that's super exciting, is trying to teach kids how to code. So we'll be doing that starting in March. We're going to be starting programs after school for kids. So if you're interested in anything around any of these three programs, we're always hiring as well. We often hire our students, so we beat you to that punch. But yeah, and then before...
What age kids?
We're going to be teaching fifth grade, around fifth grade to seventh grade. But yeah, so the main thing that I wanted to go into is what you guys are all here for, is an immersive program. And what we're really trying to do is get the best and the brightest and teach them how to code. And it was an experience that I had myself. I felt I was good at accounting, I was good at finance, but I had never had an opportunity to learn how to code. And all of us founders have different drives behind this. But it's been an awesome opportunity to take really intelligent people and teach them how to code. And so what we've done is created an interview process very stringent. We take a look at their backgrounds, whether it's education or professional. We've had a really wide range of people that are in marketing, working at Google, or working in consulting, working in interactive agencies, working in design, working in architecture, and taking those great minds and teaching them how to code. And so that's kind of why our acceptance rate is so high, or so low, is because we only want to take people that are really ambitious. And so once they're accepted, we put them through a pretty rigorous process with doing stuff on their own before they even enter the program. We call it the pre-work. And so they're using Code Academy, Lynda, and Team Treehouse, and just different activities to get them started before they even start the program. And then once they get to MakerSquare, the biggest thing that we teach them how to do is learn to build and ship code. There's certain languages that we've been focusing on, but it's always changing, and that's often why it's hard to say, what do you teach? We just teach people how to build and ship software. And so right now what we've been teaching, go back one. What we've been teaching is mostly JavaScript, Ruby, Rails, and then we do front-end development with HTML and CSS. Everyone loves talking about mobile-friendly web applications. We teach that as well. And of course, we teach them how to be coding on Git. And these are the different languages and different techniques that we've seen as present. But last quarter, we were teaching Backbone. This quarter, we've been teaching Riot.js. We're always changing and trying to listen to what our employers are looking to hire. So it's evolving at all times. And so we're always here to listen. What is it that you're trying to hire? And based on that, we've actually increased the amount of JavaScript that we teach. We taught a lot less before. But after the program, we really take pride in training lifelong learners. And so not only are they just coming to this program and then stepping on, like, I learned Ruby and I'm going to now code in Ruby. We've had developers take jobs doing a variety of different things. There's some people in the audience, the alumni, they're doing Android app development. We had C# developers, we had PHP developers. So not only do they come here to learn Ruby or Rails or JavaScript, they learn how to code. They learn how to build and ship software. And so these are just a couple languages that people have taken jobs in. And the last thing is, once they go through our program and learn all these different languages, they go out and get jobs. And so it's been super exciting. Our full-time offers have ranged from about 55,000 to 75 to 80,000. And we've had like really awesome reviews of some of the students. And I'm sure one of the students is here, never heard this quote. But Stephen Waters, the CTO of CSD, said, "We've hired 3 MakerSquare grads, and it's been so successful, it's completely changed the way they hire." One of the grads just started working about 6 months ago, and she's already mentoring. She is already mentoring other developers, and she's also, they're anticipating to up her to a senior developer within the year. So that was, for me, it was super exciting to hear. And it just shows that these developers come in with a unique skill set and ability to take their professional background, learn how to code in a short amount of time, and continue learning and impact the companies that they work at. And another exciting one is from Brian Dayton, co-founder and VP of Engineering at Master Elvin, said, "We just hired our first MakerSquare grad so far. If they're all anything like him, we'll hire all of them," which is awesome for us. If you guys want to hire all the developers, that would be great. They'll be really happy, and we will be too. So that's just a little bit about kind of what the general process is with the Immersive MakerSquare program. But tonight, what we've done is that the students have been working or learning for about 6 or 7 weeks in a more structured format, and the final 3 weeks they used to build apps that they thought of, and sometimes they took ideas from different clients and build different software. And so today will be a culmination of their final 3 weeks of work, and they started building stuff in Angular and taking stuff that I never even knew how to work with, which is scary because I went out of job. But they're building really cool software. And so today you'll see, in short 3-minute presentations, everyone's projects, and then at the end you'll have a chance to mix and mingle with those students, and we'll have what we call a science fair layout throughout the building. Cool? Cool. Thanks for coming. Give it up for the students.
Are you homesick for places you've never been to? The traveler sees what he sees, but the tourist sees what he has come to see. My name is Leslie Martin Del Campo, and this is Tejas Rawal, and we are Point B. Tourists need not apply.
The world is full of travelers. It's not working?
Yeah.
The world is full of travelers, and people who travel often travel smart. Point B creates an environment where travelers can share the type of information that you couldn't find in any travel book, like volunteer experiences or cultural experiences that are off the beaten path. You can find out how others travel abroad and also blend in with the locals. Now we'll take a look at some of our features as our friend Amerigo Vespucci navigates Point B. So our first feature is a destination search feature. It matches whatever the user inputs into our search box with the cities in our destination database. Amerigo really wants to visit New York. He sees that Marco Polo has also visited New York in the past. He wants to check out his trip. If a user likes a trip, they can star that feature. That sends a push request to his starred destination wish list, which is the page he's on right now. As you can see on the map, the stars show up wherever he has starred, the destinations that he has starred.
So after Amerigo plans his route based on the starred destinations, now he wants to make a comment. We did this with the user in mind. We used Ajax, pulling from both the post model and the comment model. This was a little bit tricky for us at the beginning because we had to make sure that we were pulling the correct post and that we were pulling from the user that was creating the comment and not the user that the destination was tied to. Now Amerigo wants to search for other users. He finds his friend Ferdinand Magellan, and he's going to use our follow feature so we can check up on what old birdie's been up to. So the activity feed shows you anything that anyone you're following has been up to. Anytime they create or update a post, a destination, or a comment, it's going to show up here automatically. That one was a lot of fun to make because it does pull from 4 different models on one page. So that was a quick tour of our favorite features thus far with our app. Some of the technologies that we use you can see on the screen in front of you. As I was just mentioning, one of the things we're most proud about was getting Ajax to work. It really was complicated considering we used Riot.js template on our post model, and then the comments themselves were actually in Rails. So we had a fun time making that work so that the users had a seamless interface.
So we faced many challenges throughout our project, and we have to come up with some creative solutions in order to get over those challenges. As Leslie mentioned earlier, Ajax request was one of the more tougher challenges we faced, and we're really happy that we got over it. Another challenge we faced was using the Google Geocoder API and the Maps API to not only locate each destination, but also place it on the map using a marker. The Geocoder API returns values on the back end, and we have to pass those values onto the front end to get them to show up on the map. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. If you want to look for us, we can find us right back there. Thank you.
The best one so far. The best one so far.
Don't know much about the franchise, but I do know that I love Well, so I get the pleasure of introducing Shop 1 for 1 to you. Shop 1 for 1 was an idea I had back in October, and the guys asked me to take just a few seconds of hopefully not their time, because I'd rather they spend the entire 3 minutes, and I was explaining it wasn't their time, so I'm going to be short of just in case. Back in October, I was attending a hackathon. I'm a former developer myself, now a director of engineering here in town, and was attending a hackathon, hang out with some friends, do a little bit of coding, keep my skills sharp. And it was a hackathon called Code for the Kingdom. And the focus of that hackathon was building businesses that are sustainable but have eternal impact, that are building into not-for-profits and churches throughout the world. And there was a focus, I spent some time thinking about what to do, and I came up with this idea, which you're going to get to see here in just a second, called Shop 1 for 1. The concept behind Shop 1 for 1, and best just shown, is much like what you see with Harry's Razors or Tom's Shoes, where everything you want to buy can be purchased 1 for 1. Now, as a person who has expendable income, I get the option to choose to purchase something 1 for 1 and give an additional, so basically I'm purchasing something and I'm giving an additional cash donation to a charity that put that product on Shop 1 for 1, or is using Shop 1 for 1 as a white label product to gather donations for their site. Even if I choose not to buy the product shop in a 1 for 1 manner, so I'm not making a cash donation in equivalence to the product I'm buying, but actually, I can actually make trivial donations, very, very small donations, through Amazon's affiliate API. And so basically the structure of Shop 1 for 1, as the guys will show you, is a really streamlined experience for shoppers to make a purchase, route their money directly to, some portion of their money directly to not-for-profits, or make an additional cash donation on top of that and have that go to the charity. So I'll leave it to the guys to donate, to explain. So, so that's a good point. This is a live site. If you use the site tonight at the demo or you go to the URL, you're donating to Aaron. Aaron and Michael.
Well, it's actually
oh, it's not true. This is but anyway, point being, Aaron and Michael have been spectacular. I got to work with them a couple different times over the 3 weeks, and they were great at being responsive to the requests that I made, but also really pushing me to stretch the idea. So, woo!
Thanks, Darcy. Good evening. My name is Michael Yasso, and this is Aaron Hayslip, and we are the builders of Shop 1 for 1. After meeting with our client, we realized that the vision really hinged on a seamless shopping experience as well as the capability to make a consumer feel good about giving. Knowing this, we decided to implement parallax on the homepage. And we did this using Scroller.js, so we could really hone in on the story behind Shop 1 for 1, as well as the importance of the mission. We put very powerful images in the background so that we could hopefully connect the shopper with the purpose of the site, as well as give implications of what it would be like to give to someone in need. Now our ever so virtuous shopper can go to the products page, where they'll find a list of items brought in through the Amazon API, and by hovering over them, they can see which charity those products belong to. Once they decide on which one they would like to buy, they can click it and they'll go to the description page. After they get to the description page, they'll have the option to purchase the product, where they'll be taken to the Amazon product purchase page to check out. However, if the product really hits home and they feel generous and they want to give, then they can buy 1 for 1, in which case they'll be taken to a donation page, which is pre-populated with the amounts of the item that you are going to purchase. And upon confirmation, you can go straight to the Amazon product purchase page after that.
Yeah, so in addition to the consumer interface, we also built a charity admin dashboard, which is kind of an extra, and I'm really excited to talk about it. But in this way, charities can log on, create their own stores, and then add any products they want from Amazon. So first, we send an invite to the charity admin. The charity admin then gets their email, accepts the invite, and directs them back to Shop 1 for 1, where they set their password. Then after setting their password, they fill in all their charity information, and a store is instantly created. Now, if they want to add a new product, they just click Add New Product, and they head to Amazon.com, search any product they want, and each product has its own ASIN number on Amazon, and it's really easy to find, and so you just grab it, copy it, paste it back into Shop 1 for 1, add your description, and because of our API integration, everything else is just magic. It works for you. You already have your image uploaded, all the links for donations are already there, the price of the product is already there. The charity admin doesn't have to do any of that. It's done for you. And so this is really nice because in seconds, literally 60 seconds or so, a charity can create their own online store, add products from Amazon. They have no product overhead. They have no inventory, and they get to integrate all of Amazon's perks, like having shipping and a payments process. One of the challenges we faced in building Shop 1 for 1 was really harnessing the Amazon products advertising API. And we really needed this in order to update consumers with real-time product updates, and for charities to be able to seamlessly add Amazon products to their stores. Another hurdle that we had to overcome was the ability to redirect the user from Amazon's donation back to the Amazon's product purchasing page for to purchase that product. And we really wanted to do this because this is kind of where Shop 1 to 1 really comes together. The seamless single purchase donation cycle you go through. So we don't want our users to have to click donate, then have to fill out a new form for donations. It's all seamless and right there. But here's our live URL. Feel free to pull out your phones, visit it, pull out your laptops, visit it, and after this, Mike and I will be right over there at the Shop 1 for 1 sign, and we'd love to chat more about the technology we use or anything else that has to do with our project. So thanks for checking it out.
One quick note about that project, along with the next two projects, is they're part of something called Coding for a Cause, which is something that we started so that non-for-profits and for-cause organizations can come to us with ideas that are going to help the community. And so the goal is that our developers that are passionate about one of these ideas, Shop 1 for 1, Million Mile Month, and Connected Good, they have a chance to not only develop and learn how to build software, but they can also help start a new company or new non-for-profit or some application that's going to give back to the community. So the last one and the next two projects are part of something called Coding for Cause. So feel free to reach out to us if you're interested in getting involved with Coding for Cause, pitching an idea, and having developers work on it.
Hello, I'm Will. I work for a nonprofit here in town called Cyberways and Waterways. And we came to MakerSquare with the challenge of creating an application for our event happening in April called Million Mile Month. And a Million Mile Month is a challenge to all of Texas to accomplish 1,000,000 miles of walking, running, biking, and swimming together as a community. And so what we did was challenge these guys to create an app that would actually log all of those miles and create a sense of community as well as individual achievement. So I'm going to pass it over to these guys.
Thanks, Will. Great, so my name is Mateo Clark, and these are my teammates, Gene Chatham and Davis Martin. For our final project, we had a great opportunity to work with Will's organization and build out their vision. For us, it was a great opportunity to, one, work with a real client and take in real requirements and implement those into our app. And two, to make an impact in our community. That's really what we hope that happens with this app. So like Will said, Million Mile Month is a month-long campaign to encourage Texans to log their miles, their fitness miles, to reach a collective goal of 1 million miles. And the reason we're doing this is to raise awareness and raise funds for childhood obesity prevention programs. So for us, whenever we first got assigned with this project, the goal for us was to make it as simple, to make it as easy as possible, and also fun for someone to log their miles. And so our homepage is here. You immediately see the global progress. You see the statistics for different activities people have logged and which cities are leading the pack. And of course, probably can't see it because it's too small, but Austin is the best city in Texas. And then here is an example of the user profile. We have Michael Jordan. Here you can see the progress he's achieved so far. And right now he's logging and submitting his most recent activity. And it updates everything dynamically on the site.
And if that's too hard and you already happen to be a MapMyFitness user, we integrated with the MapMyFitness API so that you can log in with their credentials. And as you get to the site, you'll see that there's a nice button where you can import your MapMyFitness data so that it will pull in your latest fitness data and go ahead and add it to the Million Mile Month tally to help contribute to those 1,000,000 miles. And of course, there's integrated Facebook and Twitter functionality so that once you log an activity, you can shout that out to your friends and family, help raise awareness of the cause, and get more people signed up. One other fun feature is the ability to link your profile to a group. So that way, if your school's involved with the campaign or your company, you can join up with them, check out your fellow classmates or coworkers, and hopefully get a little healthy competition going to help us achieve that 1,000,000 miles.
So one of the most important features for our site was it be mobile responsive, because the main user story we saw was the user finishing their activity and then immediately going and logging their miles via MapMyFitness or manually. And we want them, as soon as they log their miles, to be able to easily communicate to social media and see all their charts and graphs on mobile as well. Some of our accomplishments we felt like were the integration of the MapMyFitness API, where a user can easily log in or log their miles using it. The chart.js, which is all the data visualization you see, and then the seamless UX, so basically the user only needs to use their profile page. There's nowhere else they need to go, it updates dynamically, and then that it's mobile ready using Foundation. Next steps would be adding a leaderboard, so a user feels more with the community and can see where they're at in the community, and then badges and rewards, so it motivates them to even log more miles because they'll get rewarded for that. And further API integration with Nike Plus or Runkeeper to make it even that much more seamless. So that's us, 1,000,000 Mile Month, and we'll be right over there in the corner. We'd love to talk to you about the project. That's our website, millionmilemonth.brokeroute.com or www.shoutkey.com readjust. Thank you, and remember to log your miles in April.
That was all Hello. It is with profound humility that I stand here in front of you today. The project called Connect to Good has actually received a lot of attention and been accepted into South by Southwest, where we will be presenting in March. But we couldn't present much without actually having something to present. Without the website being developed here at MakerSquare, and by these amazing, outstanding developers, all we would have is an idea. So, Connect to Good is really taking the needs of our community. In Austin, Texas, for example, we have over 5,660 nonprofits in our area alone, and they all need resources. Now, what I'm saying is let's take those things that we don't use. If there's something you haven't used in the last 6 months, well, maybe you don't really need it that bad. Maybe you can go to connecttogood.com, which exists right now and is live tonight, and find a better home for it. Find a better use for it. That old microwave, or those clothes, can go to someone who really needs it. It really impacts their life in a way that you would never even imagine. And by doing that, we're adding real value to the community. So it's through MakerSquare and Jesse, Tyler, and Jeff that we're able to take a vision that only existed in someone's mind and actually give it back to the community. It is with genuine, heartfelt, ineffable gratitude that I ask you to join me in congratulating these guys on a job well done.
Thank you, Josh. As you said, my name is Jessie, this is Jeff and Tyler, and we are very excited to tell y'all a bit more about connecttogood.com. You may not realize that Austin is actually home to one of the largest ratios of nonprofits per capita in the U.S., and our goal is to help people looking to donate get directly in contact with organizations who will be able to put those donations to good use. So to kick things off, we're going to show you a quick demo of how easy it is to actually offer a donation.
When we developed Connect to Good, we wanted to make it very intuitive, a site that people could immediately recognize what they were supposed to do. To that end, everyone's seen something that looks a lot like that. We built in a search bar and a button to make it very simple. You can put in a need. Let's say I've got a yacht that I want to get rid of just for to see if anyone needs one. Apparently no one needs a yacht in Austin, but I also have a desk that I'd like to donate. And you can see the auto-populate happens with PG search, and it will take us to any needs that are available on the website. And you can see there's a site that needs a desk. So let's go to Coding for Kittens and see what they're all about. The organization page will give you some information about the organization, show all their needs, tell you how to get in touch with people, and look, the desk.
This is going to take us to the offer donation form, which is designed to be as simple and easy to use as possible. Users are not even required to be registered or logged in to offer a donation. We use CarrierWave for file transfer, so we're going to go ahead and upload a photo here. And once you submit, that's going to fire off 2 emails with the use of Mandrill. The first is a confirmation email for the user. The second notifies an organization that an offer has been made. So as you can see, the entire process from start to finish is incredibly simple and user-friendly.
We also wanted to create a powerful dashboard for the organization owners to handle all of their information here. They can quickly update the organization information, manage the status of their offers. We did this using Rails unobtrusive JavaScript to make all these AJAX calls. You can also create or edit your needs. We heard somebody was looking to donate a yacht, so let's create a need right now for a yacht. And Jeff, if you're still willing, I think Coding for Kittens would love a yacht. One of our great accomplishments was taking somebody else's vision that we fully believe in and turning that into a functioning web app that connect to good, that would meet their mission and do that in a way that would make Josh proud.
We also wanted to keep the user experience as our primary focus, so our goal was to remove any impediments that might discourage a user from actually offering a donation.
To that end, we use a lot of responsive design on the site. So no matter whether you're using something this size or something that size, you'll have the full functionality of the website available to you with a lot of SAS, CSS, media queries, and things like that. We were able to create a site that looks and feels the same no matter where you're looking at it. What's next? Well, we all came to MakerSquare because we wanted to learn how to become software developers and we wanted to better ourselves. We've done that. We've accomplished something that we're very proud of, and we would like to continue working as software developers. What we didn't expect is that we would be able to better the community. Working with Josh has been wonderful. Sonny is also a part of the team. He's very important to us right now, too. We're going to continue to volunteer our time when it's available to connect to it to keep that going.
So right now, we'd like you all to take out your cell phones, go to your browser and type in www.connectticket.com. Check out the site. It's live. You can donate, and we will be in a booth across the hall in the classroom with a big yellow banner. Come by and let us know what you think. Thank you.
Yes, we opened with Eye of the Tiger.
You know, like this. You did.
Hey guys, thanks for coming out tonight. My name is Casey McNeil. This is Kelly Rileski. And together we built an application that can help you commit facts to long-term memory and do it efficiently. Right now, we're going to go ahead and jump into the demo. We're going to show you some of the site, and then we're going to come back and we're going to show you how things work behind the scenes. So this is the homepage, and when you land on the homepage, you're invited to click on some of these questions and see if you get some right. If you don't get some right, think about them. We have multiple different formats, and yeah, so our application will take care of asking you these questions using spaced repetition to make sure that you are reminded at the correct time. So we're going to go ahead and sign up with Twitter and log in with one click. And we're going to be taken to what we call the path page. And the path page is a learning track. In this case, it's Ruby. It's learning some of the basic methods for Ruby. And we're going to go ahead and click on the accessing array elements. This is going to open us up into study mode. This is, of course, live. You're welcome to check this out. Right now, we're going to go ahead and click on, now that we're in study mode, then we're going to click on some of these questions. The first mode is this first example is a multiple choice question. And these multiple choice questions are generated on the fly by JavaScript. Rails does not know, it just passes it a fact, and JavaScript generates all these questions on the fly. This next one is a puzzle question. We call this because it's a fun and tactile way to interact with the questions. And Kelly got it right. Let's go to the next one. This one is a free response. And if you get a free response question right, then it's going to check your total memory and your total recall, and it's going to boost your mastery score by the most number of points. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this off to Kelly. She's going to describe how things work behind the scenes.
All right, so here's a visual diagram of what's happening in our code. Our app uses JavaScript, jQuery, and Ajax to take facts from the front end, transform them into our various quiz formats. So what happens is from the back end, we receive a fact. We parse it using regex, and then we pass that parsed object through our display function, and that randomizes which format you're going to get. So it can come in any form of multiple choice, free response, or like you saw, that puzzle format. Then a user's accuracy is judged on their response, and that's passed back to Ruby on the back end. So let's take a look at what's happening on the back end, where we handle our map-heavy logic. Now in turn, Ruby receives that JSON object that describes all of the user's performance data. We combine that with past performance metrics to calculate what we call a user's mastery score. Now, over time, that mastery score decays. And this is the key part of our app. We decay that score against a function that models the exponential decay of the human memory. So once it decays to a certain threshold, we trigger a reminder, and that fact becomes due again. And we pass that back into the view in the due facts object so that you know exactly which facts you have to study without knowing which ones you need to review, which is the brilliant part of the spaced repetition algorithm. So our app, we want people to be able to study anytime, anywhere, and on any device. So our app is fully responsive. We use mobile-friendly, touch-friendly, and interactive technologies so that people can use this and it's performant across all devices. We also change which formats you receive based on the screen size, so you're not going to have to struggle with typing if you're on a very small mobile phone. And we'll end with a quick summary of the gems and technologies we used. Our toughest challenge was integrating the algorithms that represent the decay of the human memory, customizing that for each person, for each fact, and then changing the slope of that decay based on how many times they reviewed it. So we'd love to talk to you more in detail about how it all works and the methods behind this memorization technique. Again, we're Embers, so you're invited to go to embe.rs on your mobile device and talk to us after. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Hey all, if you guys all want to visit mks.io/C3, I'll put it on the screen after this presentation. You can actually look at all the students' profiles, so you can see their GitHubs, their resumes. It's all accessible on that URL, so I'll put it up after this, but if you see a presentation or see a student's project that you like, you can take a look at a little bit about their background and their experience. So I'll put the link up next, but just so you guys are aware.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Jorge and I represent Talent Crops, the contest-based social network. Basically, all I'm gonna do is take you on a tour of how my app works so you will have a taste of yourself. So, here, these are all postings. Anybody can share a posting and also can attach a posting to a contest. Here we are going to create a new contest. That was a barbecue battle that we had on MakerSquare. We bought barbecue from 3 different places, and our students were able to vote on their favorite barbecue. This is also just a photography competition, and the name is Best Natural Art, and it's just like people posting their best natural art photos. But the most important one I want to show you is this one. What is your favorite MakerSquare app? So here you have all the applications that are being displayed tonight, and you can just sign in whenever you feel like and vote for your favorite application. So now we're going to add a new entry to this contest. He's adding Talent Crops, the best app ever. There. So there we go. Here is Talent Crops. Here also you can see, go up, that he just posted this application right there. So I invite you all to sign in tonight and vote for your favorite MakerSquare application. Thank you. If you want to talk about it later, I'll be more than happy. Thanks.
Hi everyone. What? Hold on a second, guys. Hello. Yo, bro, what's going on? Yeah, dude. Yo, I saw the lineup for the Bonnaroo Music Festival. Dude, it looks so sick, bro. Bro, where's Manchester, Tennessee? How do we get there? Dude, it'd be so cool if there was like a website where we could like go there and like people would be driving and we could just like pay them to take us. Hi guys. My name's Greg Becker. I'm the founder and creator of FanFollow, carpooling for music festivals. The conversation you just heard, unfortunately, happens to thousands, if not millions of concert goers every year. That's why I created FanFollow. Get a ride, split the costs, and share in the groove. Dude, where's Manchester, Tennessee? Some problems we faced. So currently, the market for carpool apps, some of our competitors, including Karma and RideJoy, they don't provide A to Z logistics for concert goers. And by that I mean they can get you from major metropolitan area to major metropolitan area, but oftentimes these music festivals happen in fairly remote places where public transportation is pretty minimal. Also, you're riding with strangers. They don't really have anything in common with you. They don't really care about anything except for getting from point A to point B as quickly as possible and as cheap as possible. With FanFollow, it's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. Let's take a look. So here's a quick walkthrough. FanFollow is a Rails app, and here we have a tour of the homepage, and that's querying the SeatGeek API, and there's a little fuzzy search. So I'm looking for Bonnaroo. Oh, look, there's all the cars going to Bonnaroo. Looks like Shazon's driving his mom's van. Let's check out who else is going there. Oh, Clay and Taylor are going. Let's check out Taylor's profile. He doesn't seem like too much of a weirdo, so I'm gonna go ahead and book the trip. Via our Ajax booking form, I can book one way or round trip, and the price is updated dynamically. Oh, and here I can pay via the Stripe API. And actually, if I log in, I can see all the trips I'm going on, be it as the driver or as a passenger. Sweet. Yeah, dude, some challenges we faced. So SeatGeek, their API actually returns a gigantic JSON string that's mostly concerned with event data and selling tickets. So things like the price, performance, we didn't really care about it. So it was kind of tricky to parse through that gigantic JSON object and really get what we needed, which was just the event data. The branding and front end, this was the fun part. So I historically consider myself more of a back-end person, but the more I went into FanFollow, the more I realized I wanted it to be a really fun experience, not just kind of another Twitter bootstrap site. And it's for people who are partying, going to music festivals. So we accomplished this with the HTML5 video as our background and landing page, and some other cool CSS stuff. Stripe Connect. So traditionally, in the Stripe model, you have a user or a customer, and they're paying a merchant. But what we really wanted to facilitate was a user-to-user payment, so like a marketplace. Some next steps we've got, we're going to keep on trucking. Mobile experience for users to use in real time as they're exiting a music festival. Looking at things like PhoneGap or RubyMotion, so any mobile developers in here, please let me come pick your brain. And same thing with integrating other third-party payment options like Square or Bitcoin. If anyone has any experience in that, please let me come bother you. And that's really it, guys. Big shout out to my mentor, Karu, who's floating around somewhere, Andy Murphy, and a bunch of other guys who helped me out with the code. And I'll be over there in the next room, and most importantly, have a great trip. Thanks, guys.
Confusing, 'cause all I wanted to do was be the Bruce Lee of Bruce Lee. Hey guys, so I'm on this team. I was kind of helping out on the last one. That wasn't immediately clear. But thanks for coming tonight. There's a lot. I'm surprised to see it standing remotely, which is pretty awesome. We got some coaching earlier this week that every good presentation starts with a good hook. I am so sorry. But next 3.5 minutes, you're mine. We spent this time, the last 3 weeks, building an app that works around healthcare for senior citizen family members. There's 47 million Americans in this country needing healthcare of some kind, and actually 100% of them will die. But before they do, there's a healthcare app focused on making sure they're okay. We wanted to defy standards, conventions from other competitors. We wanted a site that was approachable and friendly. We wanted the sign-up process to be as easy and simple as possible. The site is built around the idea of a family group where you can invite not only family members, but also neighbors or people in your group who would help support friends, family, and loved ones. We have the ability to invite them safely and securely by email so that they don't have to interact or find other group members. It's pretty simple.
And one of the key challenges here is really, this is mainly going to be used by a caregiver in a family and making it easy for them to put in what they need help with. But we also need to get a lot of data too about what it is, where, et cetera. And so kind of one of our challenges here was, how do we get the task date? What's the easiest way to ask someone when it needs to get done? So we tried a couple different things, and eventually we landed on the chronic gem, where you can actually put in any of those things, and behind the scenes, using the gem, we'll figure out that information. Another thing that we needed to do was make it easy for people in the family to sign up for tasks. So what we did was we actually integrated Ajax here, where you can actually click sign up when you're in the app. That will automatically go over to your task list. And at the same time, you're going to get an email using Action Mailer, as well as a calendar invite so that you know when you need to actually perform that task.
All right, so now let's go over to the actual live app. And one of the challenges, and you'll see, one of the challenges that we tried to face early on was creating a mobile-first app. So if you go down, it scales down, because people are going to be using this both on their desktop, their tablets, or just on the go on their phone. And one of the things we really wanted to do was simulate a push notification so that people would be able to reply and interact with the app at all times. So after someone finishes one of their tasks, they will receive a text message using the Heroku scheduler and Twilio. And in this instance, it'd be something like how to clean the task, clean the hook, go. And you would be able to respond back on your cell phone and say, hey, the hook is clean and very polished. So if you refresh the app, then it should scroll down, then voila,
Clean hook. Clean hook.
So we really enjoyed working on this app, and we'd like to develop it further. I don't know if anyone in the audience has been in a situation where an app like this would be helpful in their family, but if so, we'd love for you to come over and talk with us. I think we're in the other room over there, and give us any of your suggestions. Thank you so much.
Woo!
I just want to add a little note that all these songs were chosen by the people that are going up there, so it tells a little bit about their personality.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to take off of work and use some of my vacation time yet again. I'm having Google Fiber installed, and that's pretty cool, but it's gonna take a few hours. I gotta be at home while they're doing it, you know.
Man, that's terrible. You've never heard of Sit For You?
No.
Oh, it's the site that connects you with sitters to sit at your home while basic home repairs and installations are done. You should definitely check it out. It's at sitforyou.herokuapp.com.
Cool.
I'm actually a registered sitter.
Awesome. Let me check that out. Okay, so we're going to the site, and I believe you.
Well, we have a freeze. Okay.
Anyways,
So what do you do again? You go to the site.
I go to the site and I create an appointment, and then an available sitter will claim the appointment, and lastly, I'll complete the registration and finalize the appointment. Then an email will be sent to each available sitter notifying them that, hey, this is a opportunity you might want to take because your schedule's free. The sitter will then click on the confirm link if they are interested, bringing them to a confirm page on the site, and they will then officially have the job. Oh, that's really awesome. I bet a lot of people could benefit from that. By show of hands, how many of you have had such an issue in the past? Awesome. I'm Mayor Simon, and this is Stuart Immel, and this is the site when it's working. The app was built on the Ruby on Rails and Foundation frameworks. The core functionality of the app comes via the Google Login and the Google Calendar API. The Google Login feature enables us to capture essential information about the user, such as their email address, which we needed, and the profile picture. The Google Calendar API enables us to search and determine which sitters are available, and thus whom to send the subsequent appointments to. Along the way, we encountered numerous technological issues, and Stuart's going to elaborate on that.
So our main issues were dealing with Google authentication and the Google API. We started out using Devise with OmniAuth, but we realized that we want the registration and the owner experience to be really seamless, the most seamless as possible. So we decided to create our own custom login without Devise. And this, of course, needed us to dive really deep into authentication and exchange of tokens and different things like that. But we got that figured out. And another problem we had is we need to add a piece of middleware, Active Record Store. And for the Calendar API, the main problem we had is just converting the data to different formats and getting that right so we get the response we want.
We're really excited to continue working with Sit For You and seeing where it goes. We're happy to announce that we've had one customer to date, and pretty stoked about that. Thank you. And we're really excited to continue validating the idea and seeing where it goes. We're the first group in the on the left when you come in through the door, and if you want to become a sitter, need a sitter, or just want to chat, come on over and we'll chat with you.
Thank you.
Man, sales of our cutting-edge Graves harmonicas are down again this quarter. I have no idea what we're going to do to market these things.
Wow, this harmonica sounds fantastic. Why are we trying to market these at the mall? Seems like we're in Austin. We should market these at Austin's music festivals, don't you think? If only I had a way for the CEO to hear my ideas. I know. I'll log on to IdeaTap. I'm Lainey Bevel, and this is Casey White, and our application is IdeaTap.
It has a back end of Ruby on Rails and a Riot.js front end. And it's designed for companies to tap into the ingenuity of their employees. The way it works is employees post their ideas, and then they're given a set amount of taps. They can use those taps to support or contribute to their favorite ideas. Companies get to see which ideas are most popular, and employees get to have a voice. Let's run through it. Help us out, Case.
So when you first log in, you're immediately taken to your dashboard, where you can see all the great ideas you've contributed, and also create a new one. This is where Lainey is going to tell me how we're going to save our harmonica sales. Next, you can see all your company's ideas, including top ideas that are trending by category. And when you click on the idea, you can also go to the ideas detail page to see more about it. Here you can add a comment. And we also have a tap slider that allows you to contribute taps to the idea. So when you contribute, it takes taps from your wallet and adds them to the idea. And here we're using JavaScript to make an API call to our backend, some AJAX to update your wallet and the idea tap count, and some jQuery to display it back on the screen. Next, going back to my dashboard, if you head to My Contributions, you can see every idea you've contributed to. You can see here I've contributed to her great idea, and that I actually liked it so much that I contributed multiple times. So in order to ensure that we're pulling back the total of all my contributions to our idea, we used a little custom SQL to help us out. Lastly, if you're admin, you get an extra admin dashboard where you can go in and create, edit, delete users and ideas. If you head to the ideas, you'll see we've created a little custom search bar that again uses some SQL to help pull back all ideas, and you can search by title or by contributor name in the same bar, in this case incentive. And so that's the basics of how our app works, and Lainey's going to explain to you briefly potential next steps.
Thanks, Case. Our next steps we were hoping would be to provide the companies with opportunities to, say, provide one challenge or a certain issue that they were having trouble with that then the employees could help brainstorm on. Or possibly they could have some incentive as well, where maybe you would get a reward if you had the best idea that year or something like that. So those are our thoughts. Thanks for coming tonight, and I'd like to also thank Kristen Cerna for sharing the original idea with us. Come see us at the fair. We're right over here.
Hello. Hello. We're MakerPong. I'm Rich Edwards. This is John Caldwell. This is Matt Larsh. And we wanted to address a universal problem that's out there with our app. Games in offices and who's the best. In our office, it happens to be ping pong, and it gets really intense. So we decided we were going to use the skills we learned at MakerSquare to create a web app to track stats and find out who the real champ is. So let me give you a quick overview of MakerPong. Once you log into the app, you can visit a dashboard. And on the dashboard, you can see that our fellow classmate Greg is very happy because he's beaten Matt, and Matt's very sad. And that's because each person gets to upload celebration and sad pictures, and it's all dynamically done on the back end about which ones come out. And here's our title holders from around MakerSquare. And over on the right are power rankings. And if you scroll down, we have all the latest game information. And at the top, I decided I'm going to challenge John to a game because he's been beating me lately. We play, log our scores, and this time around, I win. And as soon as it goes into the database, you can see that it's updated there. And this time, he's pretty upset that he lost the game. So anyway, and before I log off, I visit my profile page and see my stats. And next, John's going to tell you about our live scoring feature.
In our app, we designed our live scoring feature around the customer use case of a player actually logging a game live point by point. And the way it works is a player can click on their iPhone on the clicker and have it project like we're seeing here on the screen. So to begin a game, a player can actually select its player and opponent and begin the game. As you can see, you can intuitively click on the scorecard to increase or decrease the score. And at the end, the game results shown, and a player can opt to either log the game or not, which will then pass it into the database, and you can see the result. I beat Rich this time. On the back end, and with all the statistical analysis, we use Ruby on Rails, and the clicker is built in JavaScript and uses jQuery. The pictures are uploaded to Amazon S3 via Carrier Wave, and we're happy to say that a week ago we deployed to Heroku, so we've actually been having MakerSquare players using the app and giving us feedback. Now Matt's going to tell you a little bit about the challenges we've faced and where we're going to go next.
Thank you. Yeah, most of the challenges we had were with stats because, as you saw, our app is all about stats. We want to know like your ranking and how many you won and who you beat. So we had to figure out how to query the database efficiently so we can still add a lot more users and it'll still be fast. Another challenge we had was just all the feedback we got from all the students who play ping pong. We used it a lot, so we made a lot of adjustments and a ton of changes, and yeah, we spent a ton of time making it how it is today. But in the future, we want to enhance our ranking system. Right now it's based on win percentage. We want to also add the win margin and the quality of your opponent you play. And our app right now is one big MakerSquare league. We want to have lots of separate leagues based on different criteria and have dynamic tournament brackets where, say, a user wins a tournament, he can have a little badge on his profile that he won that tournament. We thought that would be a fun addition. Yeah, and we used it a ton today, this app, and it really does make ping pong way more fun. Our first user had a quote, this app makes ping pong way more intense. So yeah, if you guys like ping pong or have ideas for us or competitions like this in your office, come talk to Maker Pong. We'll be, I think, right here in front. So yeah, come say hi. Thank you.
We hope our intro seems a little bit apropos. My name's Greg,
And I'm Kendra.
and we are local food roots.
So I grew up on a small farm in southern Missouri, and I would watch my dad work 40 hours a week and then come home and work on our farm the rest of the time. And the love and the dedication that he put into his work for the small payout that he got was always an inspiration for me. And it really instilled this passion that I have for buying local foods and supporting the local community. So when I noticed that my friend Dan, who makes local tofu, was literally selling his tofu via Twitter, I was like, there's got to be a better way for him to get his product out there to local buyers and into their hands. And so that's where the idea for Local Food Roots came from.
So let's check out how Dan buys something online. From interviewing suppliers, one of the first pieces of feedback we got is we have to make each delivery worth it. And so we decided to do that in two ways. The first way is that we set up a minimum order size so that when they get in their car, they know how much at a minimum they're getting. The second way is that we give them we have them set up 2 delivery days. They're usually in town anyway for like a farmer's market 1 day a week or something like that. And so we try to fit into their schedule as much as possible and allow them to match our orders with whatever else they're doing.
Never tried tofu jerky, it's awesome.
Now let's. One of the restaurants we interviewed was Eastside Showroom, and so let's log on as Eastside Showroom and try to buy some of that tofu. A lot of restaurants today care about the distance from the food, from where the food is grown to the plate. And so one of the things we do is we only search for food within 100 miles, and we geocode it so they can see the exact distance, and then we hide and show based on categories using Ajax. When they're ready to purchase, for example, Mofu's tofu, we enable this using Stripe. Stripe pulls in all the information from the previous pages, and we'll turn it into an invoice, which we'll send by action mailer to both buyer and seller.
Don't try to use this credit card information. It's not real.
Finally, let's go back to Mofu and let's check out their dashboard. We use a cool graphical interface to make understanding their sales data really simple and intuitive. Plus, we have several tabs so they can see their entire order history or just the most recent ones.
So in terms of technology we use, challenges, and next steps, Stripe was really awesome to integrate. It allowed us to let the buyers purchase it as well as send out invoices to the buyers and the suppliers so that they could connect together. We'd love to look at Stripe Connect and create a multi-item shopping cart so that they can purchase from several farms at a time without the hassle of having to pay for each item individually. We'd also like for them to post products that they're looking for so that when those become available on the marketplace, they're immediately alerted that those are available and they can go and purchase them. But we wanted to thank everyone so much for coming. Feel free to tweet any questions at us. Check out our website at local food groups. The products aren't real, so don't try to purchase them. And we're going to be right in the middle here, so come and say hi.
Hello, everyone. Let's get this mic over here. All right. Now, before I start, come on, Mike. I'm loud enough. Before I start, let me tell you that a little bit. Let me give a shout out to my partner Ross, who wasn't able to make it here due to medical issues. So I'm here in his stead. All right. Now, my name's Tom. I'm an avid longboarder. When I was first starting out, I had to search hours to find what type of gear I should use. I thought there has to be a social platform where users can upload the tools of their trade, but there wasn't. That's where Kits comes in. Kits allows users to create kits, which are collections of their items and the tools of their trade, to then share out to the world. Let me go ahead and jump in to what Kits is. This is the Kits homepage. This is where all the most recent kits are. We built Kits to be both scalable for mobile and tablet devices. Now, while I'm a longboarder, I also do enjoy the occasional walk out in the woods. So let's go ahead and look up backpacking, shall we? And see just what type of results we get. All right, so we get 3 results. Let's choose this big one right here, Ken's Kit. All right, Ken's Kit has a whole list of items here. This acts as both a navigation for the user and a quick overview for the entire kit. So let's go ahead and go and see what's this. Okay, the Spot Connect. It allows me to do my tweeting in the woods. That's pretty cool. So let me go ahead and comment on them, tell them that it looks cool, it's a cool gadget, see if I can get any response back. All right, I just showed you how easy it is to discover and interact with kits. Now let me show you how simple it is to add an item to your own kit. So this is my user profile. This is where my kits are laid out and the kits that I've liked and users that I follow. So let me go ahead and jump into my longboard. All right, this is the kit I use every morning for my daily commute to MakerSquare. And recently I've been adding an extra ingredient. So let's go ahead and add some Red Bull. Right now we're taking images straight from Google's search API and allowing users to then select those images and upload them right to Kits. So that's that's creation. I just showed you discovery earlier. So let me tell you a little bit about the technical issues and some of the technologies that we're using to create kits. Perhaps. If reveal.js lets me. All right, the Google Search API, which was a big beast to us, because we were querying to Google and then pulling those images through Ajax onto our site and then allowing users to then select the items and then take those images and put them to our database. Other ones were making our own custom search, what you saw earlier in the very beginning, and random Ajax rendering to make the whole field be a user interface, user-friendly. And that's us. That's Kits. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. We're going to be right there. Oh, did I kill the music? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding for flights to Mars. I am Ben White.
I'm Andrew Kruger.
And I am Chris Bodie. The year is 2036. Annie is sick of her job managing the sale of sonic showers in Singapore. Her solution is to get off this rock. She fires up her antique iPad and goes to Mars Attracts. Mars Attracts.
So she navigates the website. She's in Chicagoland, so she'll be departing from there, and she wants to get to Gustav Crater. Okay, great, so there's plenty of flights, but she wants to get off this rock today, so she'll select the first one. Okay, great, so we have some information about the flight, as well as the ship she'll be spending so much time on her voyage. Okay, so she's leaving today, so we have the current weather of Chicago, as well as the current weather conditions on Mars, and look at that, it's still sunny. Okay, so she's not Sigourney Weaver, so her name is Annie. We'll change that real fast. And we'll book. Okay, so she has a confirmation page to overview her details and detailing where she'll be staying on the ship. And we also have some amenities she can pick from. So it looks like she wants to go on a spacewalk and have some astronomy lessons on the ship, and she'll go ahead and confirm her trip. So this is the confirmation page where she'll get all the flight information about the route and the ship, as well as her personal passenger information.
So we actually built this out in Rails to start on the front and back end, but then we switched to Angular. Why? Because we figured if we're sending you all the way into the unknowns of outer space, that we should probably go into the unknowns of our tech stack. And that was Angular for us. So it had a steep learning curve, but we cracked it a little bit, we got into it. Once we had that snappy single-page application on the front, we had to deal still with our back-end Rails database that we were using. We also pulled in 3 APIs, one from Wolfram Alpha for stats about Mars, one from Forecast.io for Earth weather, and another one that did the Mars weather. So we had to, those were all in different data formats. We had to pump those into the Rails database and then get those to the front end through Angular. That worked some of the time. Some of the time Angular didn't render things when it needed to on the page, so we had to sub in jQuery. And those challenges definitely were the biggest in our project.
When we started planning this project, we wanted to take more of a speculative fiction approach to developing an application. We did this for 2 reasons. The first is we wanted the freedom to explore everything we've learned over the last 10 weeks, including the ability to quickly pick up and incorporate new technologies. The second reason is that we really wanted to challenge ourselves and push ourselves and do something that was more in an abstract space, if you will. So thank you for your time. It's not rocket science, but web development is challenging and exciting, and we'd love to talk to you more about where we're going, and we'd like you to come and give us feedback. We'll be set up right here. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Scales. Along with Elaine Looney and Chris Henney, we built an app called The Shed. How many of you here have done home improvement projects? Everyone, right? Yeah. Recently I had a light bulb that had burnt out, but it was 18 feet above me. And I didn't have a tall ladder, and when I went to the store, tall ladders run about $300. But I just want to change out one light bulb. Wouldn't it be great if I could just borrow a ladder instead? That's what The Shed is. It's a tool sharing platform for communities.
When a user first logs into The Shed, he will see tools available in his community to borrow, listed in order of their nearness to him. If user Gamble is interested in finding a ladder, he can simply type that into the search bar and see the results returned to him. If he wants to see where these ladders are in relationship to him on a map, he can do that. And from here, he can decide on a ladder he's interested in borrowing, and he can finish requesting it by writing a quick message to the owner of the ladder. In this case, it's Jen, and he wants to borrow a ladder to change a light bulb. Jen has a ladder now because she didn't have The Shed before. He's returned to his profile where he sees the pending request. And from here, he can also see Shannon wants to borrow his router. So he opens this up, and from here, he can decide to approve or deny the request. But Gamble's not just a taker, he's a giver. So he's going to approve the request and say, Shannon, it sounds great. From there, he returns to his profile, where we can see other tools that he has for people to borrow, and also tools he has borrowed. Gamble has borrowed quite a lot of tools, we can see, and he probably needs to get to giving those back. It's clear he has built a good community here on The Shed, a site he can use on his computer or his mobile device.
In addition to the responsive design, The Shed is built on a number of technologies. At its foundation, it's a Ruby on Rails web application supported by a Postgres database. The Shed employs JavaScript thoroughly throughout The Shed. We utilize the Backbone Model View Collections framework to visualize our tools and our users. In addition, we rely on various other JavaScript libraries for image manipulation and just make things look nice. We've incorporated the Google Maps API to allow our users to have a map-based experience if they choose to. In addition, we're using Amazon S3 for remote image storage, and we've tested our models with RSpec. So, how many developers does it take to change a light bulb? For us, it was 3 developers hammering it out over 2.5 weeks. We're in The Shed. We'd love to talk to you afterwards. Thanks, everybody.
Well, can we get one more round of applause? I thought those presentations were flipping awesome. I'm truly amazed to see that the groups and developers are getting better and better at using new technologies. So my guess is they might get hired quickly, which is awesome. I put up a couple links to help you guys out. If you guys are looking to hire developers, either submit your hiring needs and we'll work with you to find out who's the best developer. And so that way you don't have to go through the process of interviewing all 40 students. You can interview the students that seem like a good fit, or you can access them directly. It's up to you. We're just here to try helping you along the process. One other thing that I wanted to note is that after this, we've laid out the groups throughout the 2 spaces so that you can have more time to talk to them. So please take advantage, and if you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, thanks a lot and enjoy. There still should be beer, I hope. We always try to get enough. Yeah, thumbs up, we have enough beer, and there should be some pretzels to eat. So thanks a lot, and have a good evening.